porque hay un arquetipo espiritual puertorriqueño. Hay un anhelo de superación puertorriqueña. Hay una grandeza puertorriqueña. Hay una visión de belleza puertorriqueña. Hay una fe puertorriqueña. Hay una fe que se extiende hacia la eternidad de generaciones por nacer de grandes y nobles y santos puertorriqueños.
The most vigorous reaction to the creation of Public Law 600 came from the Puerto Rican National Party, or Partido Nacionalista Puertorriqueño. We have to remember that during the 1930s, the Partido Nacionalista challenged from a very violent way the colonial regime in the island.
Puerto Rican independence movements were relatively intellectual up to the time when Albizu Campos took control of the Nationalist Party in 1930.
To silence Albizu Campos, in 1948, Puerto Rico enacted la Ley de la Mordaza, or Law 53. And this law declared that a felony to encourage, defend, counsel, preach voluntarily, knowingly, the need, desirability, or convenience of overturning, destroying, or paralyzing the insular government or any of its political subdivision by way of force or violence.
We heard Professor Vieira talk about the gag law, or the Ley de la Mordaza, Law 53, which basically turned it into a crime to preach any form of rebellion against the American or the Puerto Rican government. And it's interesting that about 10 years ago, the author of that law, Jose Trias Monge, who was Chief Justice of the Supreme Court of Puerto Rico, he had sided against the independence movement, and yet in his memoirs, he said he respected Albizu very much and ended up writing a book about the trials of the oldest colony in the world, Puerto Rico, in a certain way, invoking what Albizu had been trying to fight. We still don't know exactly who Albizu was. He was contradictory, he was difficult, but he did achieve a transformation of Puerto Rican politics and kept alive the idea of independence, which, as we said, is at times, it seems to be more alive here in New York, especially in the northeast of the U.S., than in Puerto Rico, where it at times languishes but never dies. The Nationalist Party was a conservative party. I'm not sure if it was a fascist party, as some say. And I have strong doubts about how correct Ferrao is in his analysis. Basically, he says Albizu and the Nationalist Party was fascist because A, B, and C say so.
Any comment, Dr. Vieira?
Albizu also, he was very ambiguous in terms of political stance. Of course, he was a very anti-imperialist, but he was never truly has done as a communist or a socialist. And also the accusation of Albizu as a fascist, as a fascista, also came from a symbolic perspective. He was very Catholic, of course, but also the uniforms that the Cadetes de la República used was very similar to the uniforms that Benito Mussolini used in Italy. So, but actually he never gained the support of Franco or anything like that.
I admire somebody that is willing to do something that I'm not willing to do. I'm not willing to spend half my life in jail. I'm not willing to face bullets. I'm not willing to face the almost certainty of death at times. And I think that's part of the reason why the Nationalists, not only Albizu, but the Nationalists were admired.
One aspect that I really want to present in order to conclude this session is the fact that we are a nation, and we cannot deny the fact that Puerto Rico is a nation. And obviously, we have a situation in which we have a very strong divisions. And anything that Puerto Rico would like to achieve is essential to have a little more unity. And if unity is achieved, a better living condition for the people that live in the island of Puerto Rico could happen.
Ay, Blanca Canales, líder para la historia, marcho para la gloria contra coloniales. Y para contarle, le voy a decir, más vale morir libre y soberano. Los liberadores a Jayuya cogieron y los yanquis vinieron para obstruir con balas y misil del cielo cayeron y luego impidieron prohibieron la difusión de noticias. Pa' terminar le digo, mira, pido tu atención. No olviden las acciones de un pueblo ejemplar que quiso enseñar con su valentía que la soberanía era algo alcanzable